Ah, yes, the 6mm ARC. What a great little cartridge. This has no recoil, inherently accurate, just a really awesome cartridge that has really taken off. 6mm ARC, people love this cartridge. It's just good, at least in a bolt gun. But then we have the red-headed stepsister of the 6 ARC, the gas gun, which in itself, lots of fun, kind of crazy, but if precision is your game, do not get a 6 ARC in a gas gun. In today's video, I just want to break down with you what ideal powders for 6 ARC, especially in a bolt gun. There's a lot of great options, and I mean, look, I'm just going to say this. If you can't get consistent tiny groups in a 6 ARC in a bolt gun, either your gun sucks or, well, I hate to say it, you might. If I had to say one go-to powder for 6 ARC in a bolt gun, easily it's Varget. Yeah, that's it, Varget. The other powder I would highly recommend is Vihtavuori N140. And look, if you're going to run the heaviest bullets with maybe a longer barrel, N150 is extremely good as well. Otherwise, just run Varget, guys. It's the easy button for 6 ARC in a bolt gun. But let's say you can't get Varget or you want to try some other powders. Here are some of the powders you should be looking at. Alliant Reloader 15, H4895, N530, N540. Those will all work great. All right, let's get to why I made this video. For those about to get their pitchforks, because how dare I say 6 ARC in a gas gun is anti-precision, well, I'm going to explain myself, and hopefully we can come to an understanding. For the best precision, Hornady will absolutely agree with what I say. A lot of the precision guys that do it professionally absolutely agree. What we're looking for when we're hand loading, you want close to 100% case fill of the powder and 100% burnt propellant. Ideally, I want to see over 95% case fill. Bare minimum, like low 90%. Well, the gas gun has a lot of restrictions. Let's take a look at what Hornady says. The following load data is with SAAMI specifications and is safe for use in an AR-15 platform or what we call gas guns. These loads do not exceed 52,000 PSI, which is important for the longevity of the bolt, and they highly recommend you do not exceed 52,000 PSI. Right, here's my somewhat bold take. There is no powder out there that you can run in 6 ARC staying at 52,000 PSI and lower that has anywhere close to 100% case fill and 100% burnt propellant. That is why it is anti-precision. Now, taking a look at Hornady's load data for the 103 ELDX or 105 Boattail hollow point match, looking at this, there is only one powder on all of this that actually works for precision. It isn't Varget, it isn't Accurate 2520, it isn't Reloader 15, not Levolution, no CFE 223. The only one on here that works, and this is an 18-inch barrel, is H4895. All right, let me introduce you to Gordon's reloading tool. It does some things extremely well. Now, disclaimer out of the way, GRT is not 100% accurate, okay? There's some fudge factor in a couple things. But what GRT gets extremely well is you put in the bullet, you put in the powder, it will give you your velocity at the certain pressure you're looking. It does that extremely well. Now, the parts where it's not as accurate is the burnt propellant and load ratio. It really just depends on the powder and how accurate it is. But let's just use Varget, okay? Hornady recommended it. I'm sure a ton of people are using Varget in their 6 ARC, even in their gas guns. So why does this not work? Well, if we're going to stick to 52,000 PSI, even if GRT is somewhat off on burnt propellant and load ratio, 92% burnt propellant at 52,000 PSI, that's not good at all. It's 100% or nothing. Load ratio, that's pretty good. Close to 95% at 52,000 PSI. Sorry guys, you're not going to get consistency with only 92% burnt propellant. I accidentally forgot to tell you that the barrel length I put this in is for 18 inches. I know the trend is to go shorter and shorter and shorter. It only gets worse as we go shorter with burnt propellant. So let's just say we put this in a 16-inch barrel. Now with Varget, we're down to 90% burnt propellant. Ouch. Now hope is not all lost with the 6-ARC AR-15 with an 18-inch barrel. Using the 103 grain ELDX, bear in mind this is with a heavier bullet. I'm going to say there's 2 good powders, not great, good powders to use for this setup. The first one is Hodgdon's H4895. Just under 52,000 PSI. We're over 2,500 feet per second. Not ideal load ratio, but we're just using what we got, okay? It's going to probably be around 90% load ratio at 52,000 PSI, 100% burnt propellant. So that's the first one. And probably the most ideal powder for case fill and 100% burnt propellant at 52,000 PSI is Hodgdon's Benchmark. Velocity is a little down. You know, you're going to be around 2450 feet per second, topping out at 52,000 PSI. But we've got a load ratio of 93%, so that's good. Let's go through all of the usable powders. Not ideal powders, but ones that will work. We're going to start out with IMR 4198, 85% case fill. This is basically your top velocity. You're getting in an 18-inch barrel at 52,000 PSI, 2345. So again, not a great case fill and pretty slow velocity. Accurate 2015, 84% case fill, 2,445 feet per second. As I said, Benchmark is probably your best powder. 93% case fill, 2450. H4895, 90% case fill, 2,525 feet per second. We go to Reloader 10X, 88% case fill, 2,440 feet per second. Then we'll go to the Vihtavuori powders. N130, almost 90% case fill, decent velocity at 2425. Then N120 is a little fast burning. You know, it's down at 82% case fill, 2,390 feet per second. Not great. AR Comp. Okay, this one has an asterisk next to it because you're only going to get 100% case fill at like 51,000 PSI and above. So you're right near the max for a gas gun. 2,450 feet per second though. So in my opinion, the 52,000 PSI restriction in a gas gun is an absolute killer for the 6-ARC for top precision. Let me know what you guys think. What's your experience been with 6-ARC and a gas gun? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.